This is Pave It Black.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pave It Black, the official podcast of the National Asphalt Paving Association. Today I have Matt Riggle as our guest. Matt Riggle works for Bluegrass Testing in Louisville, Kentucky. How about we start, Matt, could you just tell us maybe a little bit about what you do at Bluegrass?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been in my current role for the past 3 years. I serve as the operations manager for the laboratory, so I handle all of the business side of the laboratory. My counterpart, Scott Quire, handles all of our technical issues relating to clients and whatnot. So I've been in this role for about 3 years. I've been in the QC laboratory side of the asphalt pavement industry for 10 years.
So today you agreed to do a podcast. It's the podcast episodes that we call What If. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to take something away that you're not aware of, and then we're just going to kind of talk about, I guess, the impacts and the adjustments that would take. And so today, my what if is, what if there were no cameras, no video cameras, no still cameras, no camera technologies in and around our operations? I'm interested to hear how that might impact you.
So I guess first we'll start by talking about how we use cameras. And we use in the laboratory, I mean, we have cameras in the laboratory. We don't really ever use them unless there's an issue. I honestly rarely look at them. Yeah. Don't tell my employees that, but yeah. And then, on job sites, we use them to highlight projects, highlight the aesthetic of the project, especially if we're submitting for an APA award. I mean, that's part of the requirement is 5 photos. A lot of times that camera is providing a proof of something, a proof of what somebody says or their words, or might impact how if they know they're being watched, or if they, in the age that we live in now, when you can almost always assume that there's a camera on you at some point, I think it affects people's behavior and how they interact with each other, hopefully for the better. So I think if you took that away, hopefully we don't see people acting in their own self-interest, which I think maybe there might be a little bit of that. But if we got to a spot where there was a he said, she said, we're taking one person's word over the other, and we didn't have a way of verifying that, you would really have to, some of that conflict resolution, some of those issues would be kind of hard to navigate, I would think. Yeah. Sometimes you can go back through and see if something happened. If I get a call from a customer, and this is on our parent company side, so with Louisville Paving, if I get a call from a customer that our job site doesn't look good, if I can get a picture from them or whatnot, we're going to have to actually go out to the field, get on that job site, get with our foreman, see what happens. If there's anything that we need to do to make it right, we'll do that. But having that camera and that picture available to us definitely saves time, saves money.
Probably adds clarity to communication, right? So it's a way to quickly pass information along, right, back to the lab or back to the office or things like that.
And I can tell you, especially in my early days with QC testing, back when I was actually grabbing truck samples and plant samples, having a picture, I mean, you can tell a lot. I know you can't get into the volumetrics of what a mix is doing by just a picture, but it can give you information by looking at it. And, I mean, it is simple as truck temperature. We all know how important the temperature of asphalt plays in laydown operations and producing operations, and, of course, the efficiency of the plant. If I get a call from the road and it's, hey, the mix is cold, we go out and verify it, and it's fine at the plant. We could try to figure out what that is. If they have a thermometer on the road, they send me a picture of their thermometer readout, whether it's digital or a dial stem. I understand that their pain and what they're getting at, and we try to figure out what it's going from. So I think trust would have to be there for sure. If I get a call from our field operations and they're telling me that the mix is cold or it looks weird, we might need to grab an extra PC sample. It's just definitely something. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about, have you seen camera technologies in terms of planning around sites that you work at, or with inventories or different, I guess, operations with that are using cameras? Or are you involved?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So on a monthly basis, we do a stockpile inventory count. It's necessary for our accounting audits. I mean, every ton of virgin aggregate or wrap in our stockpiles, that's an asset to us. It's inventory. we need to be able to accurately capture that. And of course, we're not sending people out there with a GPS rover like we used to. We go up and fly. So we put a drone in the air. We capture on our typical plant, anywhere from 200 to 300 photos, put those together into a 3D image and do volume calculations with the drone imagery. So that would affect our operations big time because it might not be cost effective for us to go out there and manage it on a monthly basis. We might have to go out on a quarterly basis or half a year. Having those cameras allows us to go out every single month and double check what our inventory is, make sure everything matches what our tickets are showing that we should have on the property. Gives us that extra layer of comfort and what we have. And then on the planning side of it, we know that if we have a big job coming up and we need a particular aggregate, we don't have enough. Maybe the quarry's running low on their supply, we can plan ahead for that. Having that monthly stockpile count really, really benefits us.
Do you see much use of that type of technology with maybe jobs and looking at quantities or recordation, maybe with jobs where you're working in areas where you might impact things in the right of way that people might be wanting back in terms of landscaping, or I don't know, there's I guess a number of different things that could be impacted on a job. Are you seeing cameras used for recordation or for job type quantity of work?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I don't know if it's a job quantity issue, but we got onto a job site and it is a job quantity issue. If there's been a bunch of site work done, they're building up the subgrade, building up the ag base. If that layer isn't right, and we're trying to match curb and gutter on the front ends, our foremen know that they need to take pictures, show the site conditions. That way we can, whether it was our company or a subcontractor or whatnot, we can get with them and say, hey, here's the proof. This grade isn't right. We need to get it right so that the pavement design thickness is where it needs to be. Having those pictures is extremely valuable. And again, if that picture wasn't there, we get back into a he said, she said. Who are we gonna go with? We're gonna end up, to resolve an issue like that, we're gonna have to get all interested parties back out to the job site and say, look, this is what it is.
So it seems like definitely cameras help with efficiency, help with clarity on communication, recordation, help with quantities and planning. So they're pretty integrated into a lot of the operations, it sounds like,
Absolutely.
At your company and in the activities you do.
Mm-hmm.
And also even in marketing or, really, I guess, being able to highlight some of the work that they do. So
it's funny because they're so ubiquitous with everyday life nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere. They're on our phones. They're on your computer. They're everywhere. So you almost take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that you don't consider. So
do you think there might be ways that we could even use cameras that we're not using them now? Do you think there's actually maybe ways that technology could even be expanded?
I think we're utilizing to the best of our abilities now. Not just a standard camera, but we're really getting into IR cameras and utilizing those for temperature segregation and looking at some of those issues. Of course, they're integrating those into intelligent compaction with rollers, which is just, again, that's another type of technology that's enabling us to put a more consistent, uniform product on the ground, which is going to help our industry tenfold. As far as outside of that, I'm not really sure. Yeah.
It's kind of an evolving thing. You see some of these technologies maturing, but there's always that possibility that somebody's going to come up with another way to utilize the tool.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I were to give you your camera back, I guess I'm curious, what do you want to go take a picture of first, or where do you miss it the most?
Before and after shots are huge.
Yeah.
I think they tell a story. They tell that we're trying to highlight our industry. Before and after shots they're a very, very powerful tool for us to show how we improved a site, how we improved maybe it was a traffic issue, and maybe there was something along those lines. But I think that's a very powerful thing. So really getting back to that. Again, with the drone imagery, continuing to take aerial shots of everything and using, if you can, gather data, GPS data, to do stockpile counts.
I really appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a good sport. Obviously, cameras aren't anywhere at risk of leaving our operations, but I think it just highlights how we use different tools, and so I really appreciate you, I guess, going through some of the ways that your company is utilizing them. And I thank everybody for joining us, and just remind everyone until the next episode to keep paving it black.
Pave It Black is produced by Monica Dutcher of the National Asphalt Pavement Association, with podcast theme music credits to Coleak. You can find Pave It Black on most of your favorite platforms, including SoundCloud and iTunes, or at www.asphaltpavement.org/podcast. If you would like to suggest someone for us to interview, please email Richard Willis at rwillis@asphaltpavement.org. That's RWILLIS@asphaltpavement.org. Until next time, keep paving it black.